What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today we're me going over the new Iron Banner awards up for grabs this December in this Iron Banner, which of course is Rift. I'll be talking about the weapons available this time, what's good or not, the roles you should be looking for this week as they drop for you, and of course what Efrideet is selling as well. So if we begin with what Efrideet is selling, she's got some really good stuff you definitely want to be picking up, and honestly some of the best gear I've ever seen in Iron Banner. So firstly, if we go through the armor piece, we've got the class items and the helmets. The class items are actually 96% roll, so pretty good in terms of stats. I think there's tier 12 capable, we've got insect discipline, we've got discipline strength. The helmets are both 100% stat roll, so definitely tier 12, and these are definitely worth picking up. Probably one of the ugliest gear sets in my opinion for the Hunter. Personally, I'm not a fan of it, but there you go. If you're looking for a good helmet, these are definitely the way to go. This one right here is actually got insect and discipline, and it's also got Angel of Mercy, Ashes, Assets, and Infusion, so very good helmet. But that's not what we're after. The main thing is, of course, the weapons. Beginning with the Distant Star, this thing is basically a 100% god roll weapon in my opinion, and I think most people's opinions. I don't think you find anyone who would say this isn't a god roll set of perks. This thing is just basically perfect in every single way. It seems that most of the time with Iron Banner, the weapons are nearly perfect, like they're nearly god rolls, but not quite. They're always missing one or two perks that makes them just slightly not perfect. But this thing is perfect in my opinion, and it's just got such a good set. So of course you've got these sights which don't ever change, it's always the same in case you're wondering. We've got Brace Frame, which of course is going to increase the stability and reduce the magazine size, which I wouldn't go for. The mag on this is quite low as it stands compared to the Mida, which got 21, so 14 is definitely low as it stands, so you don't want to be reducing that. What I would go for instead is of course hand laid stock. This is my ideal perk because it increases the stability by a big chunk, but also decreases the range, which is a perfect trade-off in my opinion. I don't think scout rifles need much range, to be honest. They've got plenty as it stands, so range is definitely something you can compromise. So these are basically the two stability perks. You can pick whatever you want, whether you like range or magazine size, and they're basically ideal. Now next up we've got Full Auto, which like I said in my video detailing the best perks for the Distant Star, but also is essentially the one you want. It basically lets you not have to worry about that very strange rate of fire this weapon has, which of course is the same as the Mida, so it's quite difficult to have to constantly try and tap the trigger and get that maximum rate of fire. But Full Auto does that for you, doesn't have any drawbacks, it just simply lets you just hold the trigger and not have to worry about having to spam it all the time with that very strange rate of fire. We've also of course got Extended Mags, which is another great perk, and I was torn between Extended Mags or Full Auto, which one was better, but of course you got both of them, so you can pick whichever one you want. Of course it's going to give you a larger magazine, which is definitely good and helps you kind of compete with the Mida a little bit more. So there you go, two great options in that column. Now this column doesn't really have a great selection as it is, they're pretty average, nothing that really does a massive difference to the weapon. There are a lot of perks for mainly PvE, but you can't get things like counterbalance, so these perks aren't really that great. What you do have is definitely the best selections of them. So we've got Hidden Hand, which is definitely a very good option to, of course, boost the target acquisition and lets you get a little bit closer to the Mida, which of course has amazing acquisition and also aim assist. So this again is getting a little bit closer to the Mida. It's almost like a legendary version, and it definitely can compete. And the bottom option is Firefly, which of course is a PvE perk, not really going to serve too much of a purpose in PvP, but there you go, an amazing set of perks. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this is basically a god roll set. I wouldn't really improve this at all, and I'm probably not even going to go for a better roll myself because this is just perfect for me. I think most people will be very happy with this one. So there you go, an amazing scout rifle. Now, if you're looking for a general kind of like overview of all the perks available on the Distant Star, I did do a video which I'll link in the description, and that was basically going through the best perks on this thing, what are the options, what you do want and don't want on the Distant Star. But there you go, an amazing weapon, and make sure you grab this thing, so definitely worth looking out for. Now also the second weapon, which isn't really too noticeable, this is the Fusion Rifle, which of course is the Branded Lord. Now the reason people don't really get too excited about this thing is because the archetype is not really that good archetype in Crucible. It's very difficult to get one-shot kills, and it isn't as good as the higher archetype, which is the Saladin's Vigil, which is basically the best fusion rifle in the game. So this thing is going to be just not that great to use in Crucible. It's the faster rate of fire and low impact. The perks, however, are very good. It's got basically a god roll set again, but the fusion rifle as a whole is just not something you want. If you really want a good fusion rifle, just go to Archon's Forge, get a Saladin's Vigil. It's going to be a mile better than this thing, but this does have a very good set of perks if you want to use it for like PvE or something else. So looking through, we've got Linear Compensator, which is a very good option for fusion rifles, which I'm hearing is basically the perk. We've also got Accurized Ballistics, Field Choke, we've got Rifle Barrel for the range, but I'd definitely go for hand laid stock instead, which is going to make stability very good. We've also got Single Point Sling, we've got Accelerated Coils, Hot Swap, and also Rangefinder. So this does have a really strong set of perks. The reload is quite high, so if you do want a fusion rifle like this, this is definitely a very good place to go. But like I said, in Crucible, if you want a fusion rifle, go for something like Saladin's Vigil or Plan C. There are a lot better options out there. So of course we also have the fort bounties, which are going to give you 2 weapons and 2 armor pieces, and this is basically the main grind of Iron Banner. Of course you do want to hit rank 5 just to get the distant star, but other than that, rank 5 isn't really that necessary. The main thing you want to get is these bounties, which of course is just basic playtime. They're very easy, so there you go. That is going to be your main bulk of Iron Banner. And of course, do also remember you aren't going to be getting those rank 3 and 5 packages because they were gotten rid of, and that was just a one-time thing for your first time doing Iron Banner in year 3. So essentially, don't expect those rank 3 and 5 packages. Now, one thing that some people might be wondering about is a perk that you can get on the Distant Star, which a lot of people might argue would be better, and that is, of course, high caliber rounds. Now, the thing is with that perk, it's not as good on the slow rate of fire weapons. The thing about high caliber is that it works better on the fastest rate of fire, because it does more flinch, and it basically makes them throw off their aim. But on a weapon like this, it isn't really too great, so it's nowhere near as good as the Clever Dragon, where it's essentially a staple perk, and you must have it. Whereas high caliber on this is not that great. It's good in PvE, you can definitely stagger a lot of enemies, but with the Distant Star, high caliber is not as good as Clever Dragon. So bear that in mind. It is a good perk, but it's not as good as something like the Clever Dragon or a fast rate of fire weapon. So there you have it. That is everything you need to know about this Iron Banner Rift. Of course, it isn't everyone's favorite game mode, so I think kind of Bungie knew that and want to just give everyone a perfect weapon, so you don't really have to spend all that much time with grinding. You basically just play a few games, get the bounties done, and of course hit rank 5 and get this weapon. So you don't really have to grind all that much, but it's definitely a nice thing if Bungie did that intentionally. But there you go. Definitely make sure you grab a fire team, because Rift is not friendly if you play solo. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, any weapons you're going to be grabbing. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, a like rating would be much appreciated, and I'll see you guys in the next one.